Previously on the Kentucky Chronicles, Amy and Brian faced a judge to finally answer for their camel-induced crimes.
I'm hoping the judge accepts the plea deal because ain't nobody in their right mind want to go to jail. Sure in the hell ain't me.
Both Amy Hoffman and Brian Babor are pleading to 2 consecutive 1129s, the Scheduled 6 and Scheduled 1.
Unfortunately, the two of them got off with a plea deal, so they are no longer felons, just a fool and a fuckboy. But they will always be felons in our hearts. But Amy is still upset that no one wants to go to her haunted Halloween wedding spooktacular.
Do you have a venue?
Yeah, Waverly Hills St. Asylum.
But what Amy don't realize is that ain't none of us fixing to go to this place that she wants to go to.
Honestly, my siblings really hurt me right now. And here they are ruining my life again. My family ain't gonna support me through.
But on the bright side, Tammy finally got approved for skin surgery. She's finally getting rid of her turkey gobbler and her skin wings, so she won't look like Thanksgiving dinner anymore. The family takes a big trip to support Tammy during her surgery, but some waiting room rivalries emerge as the siblings bumped heads.
You got an excuse for everything every time of the day for a reason you being tired. That's horse.
You start wearing that CPAP at night.
That's what it
We
is
all live in world.
I'm about
right now.
and you know what you are? You're being a dick. You've been a
Well,
dick and a douchebag all day to
well,
people,
and I
and it's
can.
no reason for it.
Everything came to a tipping point when Amy brought biological warfare into the mix, producing a fart that was so diabolical that even she got up and ran away from it her damn self.
So we're heading over to the...
Juice.
I just wanted you to know she's doing good. They're closing everything up, and then...
Sorry, damn.
What the is your problem for real?
This caused her to have a meltdown about her wedding and her feelings and her farts. Meanwhile, her sister is on the operating table in an intensive 10-hour surgery trying to get pieced back together like a quilt.
They're just nitpicking about everything I do. Who said y'all's fathers don't stink? And as soon as Tammy's awake, I'm gone. Tammy will understand, and if she don't, she ain't coming to my wedding, so I just don't know how much that hurts me.
And in this finale episode, there is a huge blowout, showdown, hoedown between Amy and Tammy that left me hooting and hollering.
I don't understand why y'all think I'm the bad one here.
Oh my God, I'm not doing this.
I have no family no more.
You don't start this bull. Blaming everybody for your.
No, I'm blaming my siblings that don't want to come to my wedding, even though I was there. They're
So in today's video, we are going over everything that happened in the grand finale of season 7 of 1,000 Pound Sisters, including Tammy's post-skin surgery reveal, Amy attempting to plan her wedding, and the blowout showdown hoedown that I mentioned previously. If you're new here, hi, my name is Momo, and I'm like a TLC raccoon, sorting through all this trash TV and presenting it to you with my cynical commentary. Keyword is cynical. If you cannot take dark humor and a little roasting, then skedaddle. Forgot to mention that if you have not seen me cover episodes 1 through 7, the link to that playlist will be in the description below. I have covered the whole season, so make sure you are caught up. Now, before we get into it, please subscribe and like the video, because if not, my cat Nova is gonna be pissed at you, and you would not like that cat when she's angry. In fact, like 14,000 of you are on her hit list right now because you keep coming back for some more Momo, but you're not subscribing, like you're not committing, you're not locking in, and Nova's pissed about it. So please make sure you subscribe and like the video so YouTube knows my videos are worth a damn. All right, now let's get into this season finale. So episode 8 picks up exactly where episode 7 leaves off, with Tammy in the middle of her skin surgery while her family is acting a fool over a fart back at the hotel. Now, Amy has recovered from her meltdown, and they got the call that Tammy was almost done with her surgery, so they head over to the hospital. However, Amy already let us know in the previous episode that as soon as Tammy cracks open her eyes, like as soon as she comes back from the abyss, she's dipping out, like she's not staying, because she is not going to tolerate being bullied and belittled by her siblings.
being here with my siblings and then back talking me all day and everything. I'm tired of it. And as soon as Tammy's awake, I'm gone. Tammy will understand, and if she don't, she ain't coming to my wedding, so
You're the one bullying people with the stench of your unwashed ass and whatever atrocity you had brewing up in your stomach. So they all go to the hospital. They're sitting in the waiting room, waiting for Tammy to be out of surgery. Amy is not talking to Amanda. Her no-neck ass is just sitting there thinking about what she's going to eat on the way home. Chris is already over there stress eating, and Amanda looks worn and torn. Like, I'm not going to lie, Amanda looks like she is just itching and fiending to cuss someone, anyone out.
My nerves is a mess because I had about 2 hours of sleep and I was on the road for about 10. It's like, you know, even now I'm trying to find the words that I need to articulate how I feel.
However, there's a holdup in the OR. Turns out as they were about to close Tammy up and finish up, the needle count was off. Because Tammy was a whole sewing project, they ended up using like 30 needles in total. And one of them bitches was missing.
We're missing a needle.
What size needle is that?
I don't know.
And in this case, our needle count was off by 1. These needles are small. They could be anywhere on the surgical field. And now we need to make sure that the needle is not left behind within Tammy's body.
Is Dr. Rubin laying the towel on the floor that he's walking on or something? Hell, I thought they said he was just picking a...
Oh, hell no. New fear unlocked. So this holds up the process and leads the family to be waiting longer than expected. Now, Amanda is already getting to a breaking point. Remember, while Chris, Tammy, and Amy all caught a flight up here, Amanda drove. She says she's functioning off 2 hours of sleep and her body is just breaking down. She says she is cooked.
It's like, you know, even now I'm trying to find the words that I need to articulate how I feel, but it's kind of like there's a disconnect right now because I'm tired. I'm glad she's good, but I feel like I'm fixing to black out. That's how exhausted I am.
So eventually the doctor comes in and says that they are finally done. And then later on, the nurse comes in and explains that it will be another 10 or 15 minutes before they can see her. And as soon as the nurse said it was gonna be another 15 minutes, Amanda was like, you know what? I'm taking my ass back to the hotel. I can't do this anymore, because they've probably been saying 15 minutes for 2 hours now. Y'all know how the hospital do.
It'll be about another 10 to 15 minutes. She's in the PACU, okay? She's awake already and breathing on her own, okay?
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you. Well, at this point, I'm going to make the choice to go back to the hotel because I ain't getting packed out of this bitch on a stretcher.
She got up and skedaddled out the room so fast that Chris couldn't even say anything.
Chris, bring my to the hotel.
What the going on there? What did I miss?
The nurse come out here and said that it would be 10 or 15 more minutes. Instead of just sitting there and falling asleep for 10 minutes and us waking her up, she chose to go back to the hotel.
So Amy and Chris finally get called back there to see Tammy. Y'all, they got Tammy wrapped up like in the cartoons. This is like in the cartoons where the character gets hurt and then it cuts to them wrapped up in the hospital. They got Tammy looking like Humpty Dumpty when they tried to put them back together again. So she just woke up from anesthesia. She's still all drugged up and high as a kite, right? Chris and Amy come over to say hi and she's like, where's Amanda? Like, where's Big Sissy? I don't want to see y'all ugly mugs. Like, where is Amanda? They explained that she didn't feel good and she left and went back to the hotel.
To be honest, at first look, it's kind of rough looking because you see the blood, dried blood, different things, and oh man, she was on the edge of passing out. So she went ahead and went back to the room.
The first thing Tammy does is ask for Amanda. I'm like, that bitch done flew back to the hotel.
Now, Amy uses this as an excuse, as an opportunity to talk shit.
Amanda talk all that kinds of oh, I'm here for everybody and all this and that and this and that. And you couldn't wait 5 more minutes to see your sister.
So she tells Tammy that she is leaving. Like she is now leaving now that Tammy has woken up, but Tammy is barely registering anything right now because she's still in La La Land, because that anesthesia medicine be having you zoinked, okay? Every time I get a procedure, I'm like, y'all need to prescribe me some of that to take home because I need to sleep like this every night.
We'll be over here sometime tomorrow.
But I wanted to see you tonight because I won't be here tomorrow. I got an early flight. I'll tell you more about it when you're awake. I was gonna stay for a couple days, but I am not sitting there and being hurt. I can go back to Kentucky knowing I was the one here when she woke up.
Now, I'm going to explain my viewpoint on both Amanda leaving and Amy leaving here in a bit. Just hang on for a second. So the next day, it cuts to Amy getting driven back home by Brian. Amy then proceeds to cry and complain about how she was bullied by her siblings the entire time, and explains that the tipping point is when she ripped a fart and Amanda was picking on her about it.
Why did you want to leave early?
I just got tired of Amanda and them's mouth. It was rag on Amy. I was waiting on Tammy. I don't know if it was nerves because she was under the knife or whatever, but I had farted. And I ain't gonna lie, it was the grossest thing I've ever smelled.
However, this heifer admits that it was one of the worst farts she's ever tooted out of her tutor in her entire gastrointestinal history. She admits that the fart smelled like sewage and depression, but then got mad when Amanda said something about it.
It was bad, babe. It was the worst fart I've ever heard.
All right, well, figure out exactly what it was, because I don't want no part of it.
I think it was a Korean barbecue. Amanda acted like she never farted. Like, she acts like her fart smelled like chocolate and menage a trois.
So she uses this as an excuse to play victim and leave early because she didn't really want to be there to support Tammy in the first place. And even though she told Tammy she was leaving, Amy woke up to a slew of voice messages from Tammy just cursing her the hell out for leaving. She said that Tammy called her every name in the book, everything but the child of God.
I was there with Tammy when she had her surgery, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, why am I here when she won't even come to my wedding? Even though she was doped up and stuff, she knew what was going on.
Right.
But this morning, she bitched me the out. As soon as I got into the airport, I got message after message from Tammy yelling at me how I abandoned her and this and that. I left, I gave up, I'm the baby, I'm the bitch, I'm the dumbass. She wouldn't even hear me out.
Which is wrong, okay? Tammy did not have to go full Tammy tantrum mode, you know. She slipped up and regressed a little bit back to her old ways. She still had that gangster up in her. She's not fully healed yet. I'm not saying it was right, but I understand why Tammy was upset. Amy feels like she's been completely betrayed and isolated from her family and calls herself the black flea of the family.
I got bit by a camel, been to jail, been through court systems, and then you want to sit there and talk about how bad my farts stink and everything. I'm like the black sheep of the family. I'm not even the black sheep. I'm the black flea of the family.
More like the black bear, the black rhino. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, you are back to being in the big back category. And she's acting like Tammy wasn't in her exact spot before. Now, in the earlier seasons, when Tammy was the black sheep of the family, and it was Tammy versus the family, that was because Tammy was clearly the problem. So now that you are in that position, why do you think that is? So now I'm going to explain how I feel about the whole Amy leaving early versus Amanda leaving situation, right? Now, I agree that Amanda could have tried to wait a bit longer to see her sister wake up. She should have got some sleep back at the hotel while they were waiting. She could have tried to do a lot of things to avoid missing out on her sister waking up. However, why do I think that's a forgivable offense compared to what Amy did? Because as we're about to see coming up, Amanda came back the very next morning and stayed with Tammy for several days afterwards. It's not like she left and went all the way back home to Kentucky like Amy did.
You know, I definitely apologized to Tammy because I wasn't able to be there when she woke up. But she also understood that I was having some issues and I was exhausted. So, you know, she wasn't mad, but I have been by her side ever since.
Amanda was there the rest of the time, like helping Tammy get in the car, get around, and she is the one who takes Tammy back home to Kentucky later on. Well, Amy just completely abandoned ship. And the way she did it by telling Tammy when she was still zoinked out was a bitch move, in my opinion. Now, Amy goes on to say that her family makes fun of her for everything, breathing funny, eating, sleeping, farting, and all the above, and she can't do anything right.
They ain't know it to be about everything. Breathing funny, sleeping, eating. Like, I can't do anything right.
You said it, not me. I'm sure her siblings can be annoying sometimes with, you know, the teasing or whatever, or however she wants to call it, whatever the hell she wants to call it, okay? I'm sure her siblings can be annoying, but I truly believe this is more about Amy spiraling and Amy's internal issues more than it is about some sibling banter. So 2 days later, it's Tammy's last day in the hospital and the doctors are coming in to remove her bandages.
It's been 2 days since Tammy's surgery and it's been a little rough. She's had some pain and swelling, but overall she's been in good spirit.
Today's a big day because Dr. Rubin's going to remove Tammy's bandages on her face so we can see exactly how much of a facelift she really got.
They show off her new arm. She shows off her new stomach. She can now finally see her coochie. She's excited about it. But the big reveal is her face. Now, the doctor explains that they tried to go back and find some old pictures of Tammy to see what her natural jawline and neckline looks like.
I requested from Tammy some photos of her from her teenage years to see a neckline or a jawline that we could follow along with in our shaping procedures.
And as soon as he said that, I was like, jawline? What line? There was never a line, sir. There was never a limit.
But we didn't really see any photos where she really had a defined neckline and jawline.
No shit, she never had one. She's been a level 50 big back boss her whole life. So this is the first time that Tammy is getting a proper face card. They take off those bandages and it's a whole new woman under there.
Big difference.
Now this shot that you're seeing is with all the swelling, right? Because she is so straight from surgery, so she looked like she ate a hive of bees. So the TLC people give her a proper face reveal after she's all healed up.
All right, this is Tammy interview, take 1. She's looking good. Mark?
So how does it feel to see yourself now?
I'm shocked, like, I feel so weird. I don't have my hanging ball sack off my face.
All I had in my head was Diana Ross. I'm coming out, dun, dun. I want the world to know. I gotta let it show. Look at this thing. Look at her glowing. Like, why is she kind of a cutie low key? Now, don't get me wrong. I really wish she would get her teeth fixed, but I'm telling you, once she finishes up with these surgeries, get a little bit more work done, a little glow up here, a little lip gloss there, the potential is there.
She never said it, but I know how Tammy's feeling. She's saying, damn, I got a jawline. Damn, I got a chin line. I ain't got a turkey gobbler going on down here no more, you know?
So after 3 days in the hospital, she gets discharged. Amanda and Chris take her from the hospital to the hotel she will be staying at. Now, on the way there, they discuss Amy's behavior. Now, Tammy feels like Amy took her BS that she had with the siblings out on her.
Apparently, Amy said that she was leaving as I was coming in and out of consciousness. But I have no clue, I don't remember. And then the next morning, I get this text. Amy's like, I'm peace out, bitches. Chris and Amanda told me that Amy passed gas. And they might have been teasing Amy, I don't know. But I felt like it was selfish of the Amy taking it out on me. I didn't do nothing. I was literally asleep.
Now, I wouldn't say that she took it out on you, but I do agree that she prioritized her own emotions and her own desires over you in your time of need. Anyway, Amanda and Chris make sure she is safe and secured in her hotel and doesn't need anything before they jet off. Now, the next segment is Amy and Brian going wedding planning. Sorry. I can't take this wedding seriously. I just really can't. So they head to a wedding expo, which is basically a convention where a bunch of wedding related small businesses market to you. So, you know, there's the venue owners, the cake and catering people, etc., etc. And they're all setting up their booth to try to promote their business.
Things have been really tense with my family. So today we're going to focus on positive vibes and go to a wedding expo. I told my family I was going to cancel my wedding, but I'm not going to let them win. I'm going to do it my way. Our wedding is on Halloween Day. That's 8 months and like 15 days away. That's not a lot of time to be planning.
So Amy says they're going here to shop around for a backup venue just in case, but she is still certain that her first choice is the Waverly Hills Haunted Curse Sanatorium, where thousands of tuberculosis patients brutally died, and it's haunted by demons and ghosts.
I know there's going to be a lot of videos here, but I'm going to get married at Waverly Hills, which is a haunted insane asylum. But what if they say no? You always need a backup plan.
I imagine as soon as they walk up in there and the demons see Brian, they're just going to start chanting, "One of us, and just drag his bony ass away from wherever he came. Now, Amy is describing what she wants for the wedding, and she's like, think cottage core, but like spider webs, like shipwreck, but with bird cages and books and just a splash of taxidermy. And Brian is just sitting there with that stupid grin on his face, not having a clue what she's talking about and just going, okay.
Think about like cottage core, but with spider webs and tarnished plates and like they were there, but they've been there for like 50 years. It's kind of like a shipwreck at the end of the ocean with the captain's room. Just magical. With a little bit of taxidermy.
Okay.
And I believe that moment just basically sums up their entire relationship. It's just Amy coming up with nonsense and Brian being a yes man so he can grift whatever the hell he wants out of this relationship. So anyway, they get to the wedding expo and Amy is just going all around to these different wedding venue booths, telling them about this haunted horror wedding that she wants. And y'all, the stiff ass fake smile and nods that she received. She is going around telling these people that she wants to have the wedding at a haunted asylum.
So our venue has both indoor and outdoor spaces. So it's really a blank slate you can kind of play with whatever vibe you're gonna have.
Is it haunted?
Huh?
Is it haunted?
Not that we know of.
Okay, bye.
Is haunted a stipulation?
Yes, ma'am.
In our time having a wedding venue, I have never had someone ask if it was haunted. So the fact that it was going to be a deal breaker was so intriguing.
You guys looking for a venue?
Yes, we are. Do you offer haunted venues? We always thinking more Waverly Hills.
Yeah, when's the big day?
Halloween Day.
Oh, cool.
And they're all just like, very intriguing, very unique. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do you have an idea of where you'd like to get married?
In a haunted house.
Ooh.
He proposed to me in a haunted, like, fake house.
Okay.
But I want the real deal this time.
Yeah.
With a little bit of taxidermy thrown in. But make it gothic.
Like they were struggling for something business appropriate to say, especially those two guys. Those gays were gagged, honey. They were gagged.
It didn't, it was interesting. It was interesting. I didn't picture that for a wedding, of course, but to each their own.
Like, I needed to know from beginning to end what was going to happen. Because taxidermy, Halloween, haunted house, I'm booked. Yeah, like, when can I get an invite?
Amy is over here like, it's so nice to be around people who actually listen to what I have to say and my ideas.
This has been a wonderful day. It's nice to actually have people interested in my ideas. They actually let me talk. Where the siblings get hung up on the whole horror, haunted. Quit looking at that part. Look at the other part.
I'm like, sweetheart, that's literally their job. They are trying to book you. It's literally their job to smile and nod and approve of your ideas because you're a client, okay? They're trying to get some of that TLC money. Anyway, she is driving back home with Brian and she is like, see, when I'm with you and the boys, it's like life is great. Life is magical.
You know what? When it's just me, you, and the boys, life is perfect. Like,
right?
I feel so open and free to be who I want. But when I'm around my family, I'm scared to even
You gotta walk on eggshells.
In translation, The boys and Brian provide a safe space where she is constantly validated and treated like the center of their world. And being with her family makes her uncomfortable because they don't validate her and she doesn't get her way. Like, she goes from being the top dog to the bottom ranks, okay? Anyway, it cuts to Tammy finally coming back home from Kentucky, now fully healed from her surgery. The family meets up at the house to greet her with balloons and the like. And since I give credit where credit is due, Amy was there being supportive and didn't make the moment about her.
Today's all about Tammy coming home, so I ain't gonna say what happened in Pittsburgh. I ain't gonna talk about the wedding. This is all about Tammy. Just because I'm mad at these bitches don't mean I ain't gonna be here to see my sister home. Tammy looks really good. Even blind, you can still see there's a big difference.
So let's all give Amy a gold star for acting mature for a couple minutes while Tammy is getting the praise and attention that she deserves.
Oh my God, she looks great. When she started, she was 730 pounds, and we couldn't even get her to walk to the mailbox.
You look real good, sis.
Thank you.
That's almost enough balloons to take her up out of here.
However, she does hint that she wants to have a talk with Tammy about what happened during the surgery and explain why she left. And she's like, hopefully she'll understand that I set a boundary and they crossed it.
I'm glad to see Tammy come home. But in a few days, I want to invite Tammy over for lunch and kind of explain to her why I left Pittsburgh so early. In the ideal world, she'll understand I set a boundary and they crossed it.
What boundaries? You didn't establish any clear boundaries at all. You just randomly decided that they were bullying you and you ran away crying. That's what happened. So prepare yourselves because it's finally time for the blowout showdown hoedown between Amy and Tammy, okay?
I invited Tammy over to explain why I left Pittsburgh so early. It used to be me and Tammy against the world. So hopefully she'll hear me out.
So Amy invites Tammy over for lunch to talk about the situation, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, there was no lunching, okay? It was just Amy stabbing her salad with a fork the whole time. So Chris drops Tammy off at Amy's house for this talk, and he's like, well, little sis, good luck. I feel bad for you, but I'm not taking my ass up in there.
You know what? I do feel sorry for Tammy because anytime you try to talk to Amy, she gets a whole lot more easier butt hurt more often. So I wasn't about to stay in there and listen to them two go back and forth. Good luck, sis.
Chris drops her off and hauls ass because he already knew what was about to go down. So Amy wants to explain why she left Tammy's surgery early.
Say hi, Aunt Tammy.
Hi.
I got you some food.
Don't be trying to fatten her up now that she's skinnier than you, trying to give her some of the kids' chicken nuggets. She sends off the kids to play with Brian in the other room.
Hey, Gage, hey, Glenn, y'all want to go play with Brian? Okay.
And I was like, don't leave that mofo unsupervised with these kids like you don't know him from a hole in the ground. I don't trust the mofo. I don't trust him. I need him to have supervised visitation with the kids until he clears some checks with me. So they sit down and Amy explains that she left Tammy because Amanda and Chris were bullying her.
The reason why I truly left the hospital is because I got tired of Chris and Amanda making fun of me. I asked them to quit repeatedly and they kept going and kept going. So I was like, I'd rather go home and be around people that don't make fun of me, who love me.
Tammy explains her side where she feels like she paid the price for the bullshit that Amy had going on. She was like, what the hell does that have to do with you supporting me? Like, I'm not responsible for what you had going on with them.
But at the same time, you took it out on me and I didn't do anything.
I didn't take it out on you. I chose to leave so it won't end up in a fight.
You could have stayed away from him. If this was the other way around, you would feel the same way I do.
Now see, pay attention here. Because when an ignorant, stubborn person is losing an argument, they switch it up and sidestep to a whole other argument. They grasp a new straw, okay?
You took your teasing that they were doing out on me, and I wasn't doing anything.
Who recorded the video in the car on the way to the airport?
Now, what she is referring to here is something that happened last episode. Chris, Amy, and Tammy were all on the way to the airport, and Amy was just knocked the hell out in the back seat. Tammy recorded a few seconds of it and sent it to the family group chat. She didn't even say anything mean. There was literally nothing to the video. It was just like, hey, look at Amy knocked out in the back seat.
Bitch gotta be sleeping.
Oh, you didn't know?
Always.
Send it to the group chat.
You and Chris were sitting there recording me sleeping from Chris's house to the airport.
So now Amy is throwing this up in her face to accuse Tammy of bullying now that her first offense has been invalidated. Both me and Tammy at the same damn time were like, okay, and?
You and Chris were sitting there recording me sleeping from Chris's house to the airport.
Okay, you made fun of me.
When?
All the time.
Tammy was like, girl, you make fun of me all the time too. Matter of fact, you made fun of me in the same damn group chat you were referring to, and then brought up her own evidence.
Amy saying she never makes fun of me. But yet, when I was in the hospital, she sends a picture of Glenn with a diaper on his head. Bitch, if you can't handle it, then don't dish it.
Well, I'm just saying, when you all tell
that
me
was
to stop,
making
I
fun
do.
of me.
Because see, everyone in the family teases each other and roasts each other all the time because guess what? They're fucking siblings. They have been digging on each other since season 1, episode 1. Hell, since their YouTube days, okay? So now that Amy's second defense was also invalidated, she can't think of anything else. Her two brain cells were like, shit. I mean, that's all we got. That's all we had. What are we gonna do now, brain cell 1? We do what we do best, brain cell 2. We cry. So she balls up that face and she curls up that lip and she does what she does best.
I don't understand why y'all think I'm the bad one here.
Oh my God, I'm not doing that.
From now on, I'll just stay away. Y'all don't want me
I'm
around no
unified.
way. Y'all don't even want to be at my wedding, so why should I be near y'all?
Tammy is like, aw shit, here we go again. I'm not doing this. I'm not dealing with this petty woe is me pity party bullshit again. She gets up and goes outside to cool off for a minute.
Oh my God, I'm not doing that.
It's always my fault about everything.
I'll go back in there when she calms down. She's not taking accountability for her own actions. She wants to try to flip the script and put it all on me.
And while she's out there, she explains that she thinks Amy is just jealous and insecure.
At the end of the day, I think it was hard for Amy to go to Pittsburgh, seeing me being more successful than her. This jealous bull she's got going on is stupid. It's childish.
And I agree that's definitely one of the reasons she's acting like a complete clown. So Tammy comes back in and Amy immediately starts back up that wailing.
Are you still taking your medicine?
Yes, I am.
Then what is going on?
I have no family no more.
You don't start this bull. If you sit and talk to me like a human and stop this pity party whining, then everything would go over better,
I was
Amy.
trying, but I don't have to sit there and be bullied when I ask them nicely to quit repeatedly.
Let it go, Elsa.
Let it go, Elsa. Bitch, I was hollering. I'ma steal that one. Tammy explains that she feels like she is losing her sister and she wants her old sister back.
I love your ass to death and you're being somebody I don't want to be around. I miss the sister I used to have.
And to me, I feel like this was an attempt to really reach out and try to reconnect with her sister and squash this beef. But you know what Amy decides to respond? She died the day you told me you weren't coming to my wedding.
I miss the sister I used to have.
She died the day you told me you weren't going to my wedding.
I wasn't going to your wedding at a haunted location like that with demons.
Woo! Y'all, my blood pressure, my cortisol levels, I can't. All because her family doesn't want to come to her second, third, fourth wedding at this tuberculosis hellhole to watch her get married to some scraggly ass grifter she found in the mosh pit. Tammy again tried to explain for the billionth time that everyone would go to the damn wedding if she would just compromise on the venue. Now see, Amy's brain cells have now had time to generate another defense, and she gags both me and Tammy by bringing up Tammy's haunted dolls from last season. Bitch, I had forgot all about them dolls.
Amy and I have always had a connection to the spiritual world and have always been kind of fascinated with haunted objects. And I did my research and I found these dolls. They are haunted by children.
I wasn't going to your wedding at a haunted location like that with demons.
But you have haunted dolls in your house.
They're not demons. There's a goddamn difference between demons and spirits.
Tammy was like, don't you bring my dolls into this. They are not demons. They are good girls. They are not demons. There's a difference, goddammit. This had me tickled. This had me tickled, I tell you. Now, to be fair, Amy does have kind of a point here. Tammy has spooky haunted dolls, but doesn't want to go to the haunted sanatorium. Now, it's clear that Tammy is also into this supernatural stuff, but I think because she believes in it so strongly, that's the reason why she doesn't want to go and step foot into this cursed asylum. Like, she only wants to mess with the good energy and not the dark energy. Like, she only fucks with Casper and all the friendly ghosts, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I think that is what Tammy is trying to say here.
My dolls are not demons. And if they were, I would have got rid of them or did what I had to do. But I can't go to this insane asylum and get rid of the demons there.
So despite Tammy clearly explaining herself to Amy using plain language and common sense, Amy's only response is, all I'm hearing is y'all don't want to come to my wedding.
You should go there and support me, no matter where the location
Hell no,
is.
you're out of your mind. If you have it somewhere else, then we're going. Chris even said it. You're taking words and twisting it. This bullshit, Amy.
No, I'm blaming my siblings that don't want to come to my wedding, even though I was there at their weddings.
You're right. I don't want to go to your wedding if it's at a goddamn haunted location with demons.
All I'm hearing is y'all don't want to go.
Yeah, we know, heifer. Like, the irony of Amy explaining her own ignorance is just fascinating to me. Like, she is literally just exposing herself. Congratulations, you played yourself. Tammy's done at this point, okay? Amy is clearly twisting her words on purpose, clearly choosing to be ignorant and selfish about the whole situation. She gets up to leave.
I'd be more than willing to go. I'd be a bridesmaid, whatever. Just not somewhere that's cursed. I'm ready to go home. I'm not dealing with this no more.
Now, on the way out, Brian, who has heard all the commotion, comes out of the other room. And immediately, without even opening his mouth, Tammy was like, just shut the hell up. I don't want to hear a damn syllable come out your mouth.
What's up?
I don't want to hear your mouth.
I didn't say nothing.
No, I was going to say, if you come out here and say something to me, you can go back in there.
What?
I ain't doing.
I come to check on Amy.
Listen, I know Tammy was wrong for coming at his throat like that, but y'all know I'm a Brian hater, so I was like, yeah, get him, Tammy. Get in his ass, too. I was instigating during this fight like I was there in real life. So she goes in the car and Tammy starts crying herself because she really feels like she is losing her sister. And they used to be like locked in, and now she doesn't even know what her sister is turning into. And it seems just to be getting worse and worse every season.
I kind of feel like she's already got something attached to her. An evil spirit. I used to be able to talk to her about everything. Now I can't. And it just feels like it's getting worse and worse. I want my sister back.
Now, the entire season ends with a final few words from Amy. She pops up on the screen just looking distressed, depressed, and delusional.
Every time I go to have something good for myself, one of them will demolish it. They think I'm the weakest, Lord. But I reached my limit.
You think because you lost a little weight that you better than me, bitch?
You lost a little weight, now you want to judge me?
Just mean mugging the camera. Then she grabs her big gulp and she's like, you need to be taking down a couple pegs.
You need to be cut down a couple pegs, bitch.
I'll cut you down a couple pegs. Then she sips her sody all aggressive like,
I will take you down a couple pegs.
I don't know about y'all, but there is something about her in this last scene that is kind of creepy to me. Like, I don't know, this bitch just looked distraught. Like, I don't like that dark, wild look in her eye. Maybe Tammy is right. Like, maybe she does have a demon or something already. And his name is probably Brian. And that's how season 7 of 1,000 Pound Sisters ends. Now, it's time for me to get into my final thoughts and analysis on this whole drama storyline. Someone in my comment section did suggest that TLC is purposefully focusing on Amy and squeezing content out of her while she is going through a really rough time. And I'm like, duh, it's TLC, okay? TLC stands for Trifling Lying Ass Channel. All they do is exploit. With that being said, the heifer has been going through a rough spot for about 3 seasons now. Like, they've been on air for 7 seasons and then keep re-signing them contracts. We all saw that Louis Vuitton bag she had in the car during the Kimmel bite. They want the money and clout, they have to face the trade-off. With that being said, here is my main points. First of all, the alleged bullying. If the sibling banter really bothered her that much, this could have been settled with one mature adult conversation. But no, because it was never about this alleged bullying. It's all about Amy's issues and how she is projecting them. Second point, the wedding drama. Now, there has been a couple people in my comment section claiming that they agree with Amy about the wedding venue and that her family should go and support her regardless. So y'all think that they should go to an old haunted curse asylum where thousands of tuberculosis patients were brutally experimented on and died horrible deaths, even though it's against their spiritual beliefs, would make them extremely uncomfortable and like kind of sort of disrespectful to all the people who died there? That's what y'all are telling me? Why don't y'all take y'all asses to the wedding and report back and let me know how the hell it is? I don't give a damn who's getting married. I'm not going out of my way to a big formal event where I have to put a whole bunch of time, money, and energy into getting my ass there just for me to be uncomfortable and miserable the whole time. Like, I'm not doing it. The claim that her family is being unsupportive and ruining her life. The family has been nothing but supportive of everything she has been going through for these past 3 seasons. Amanda was about to mollywop Michael for her, was supportive throughout her entire divorce and her transition to be a single mom. Chris has been driving her around for years, bailed her out of jail, and took her to handle all her court case bullshit. Amanda even went and got her kids when she was arrested. Honestly, where would she be without her family right now? Only one demolishing her life is her. And then the family comes in and tries to do damage control. I don't think Brian is good for her. I'm concerned about the well-being of her kids. And despite me seeming hateful and roasting her, I really do hope that Amy gets the help that she needs. But I guess to find out where this leads next, we'll have to wait for season 8, or at least until she gets arrested again. Guys, that's it. The next shows I'm going to start covering include 1,000 Pound Roomies, 6,000 Pound Diaries, and some more 600 Pound Life episodes. Maybe a couple internet topics thrown in there, but that is what you can expect from me. Please tell me what else you want me to talk about in the comment section below, TV shows or internet topics, because I always need your suggestions and recommendations. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to double check and make sure you subscribed and like the video, because my cat Nova is not playing with you and she will come for your booty. I will see you on the next one. Again, thank you so much for watching.
Got my own show, I'm the main attraction. Dropping these pounds and I'm looking fine. Yeah, got a new man, don't touch him, he's mine. Yeah, they locked me up and I went to jail. I got that TLC money, so I made bail. Oh, and fuck that Camel at Tennessee Zoo. If we see you in the streets, we gon' turn them into stew. Yeah, I got a new boo, new shoes, a new mood. Can't let my family tell me what to do. I'm a bad bitch.